Yeah, we in there. Twitch.tv/tipsycasanova, youtube.com/Cassie18. So I'm gonna do a Showdown tutorial today, just so I can get something up on the internet so everybody who's looking for something to do with Showdown can at least have some kind of a reference point to work with. So I just finished a match in Showdown and got some Soul Jades. Okay. So now that I've got Soul Jades, I come over to the preparation tab, right? And then I go to the character that I want to use, right? And then you want to scroll all the way over here to equip Soul Jades. Press equip Soul Jades. Once you're on this screen, you can add or take away. Down here, I've got gold Soul Jades, I've got purple Soul Jades, and then so let me say legendary, epic, and then rare Soul Jades. The rare Soul Jades are the weakest of all the Soul Jades. So I'm gonna show just a couple of things before I go to the legendary Soul Jades. I'm gonna go to just a Soul Jade that's not maxed out, right? The maximum level you can do is 1120, which is why my sense level is at 1120, right? But I'm gonna go over to just a random Soul Jade, just one that's not maxed out already. So this one is at 1100 for diffuse counterattack. So maybe I'll do it on Ice Swarm. Okay, so I'm gonna go to enhance, right? And once you're on the enhance screen, at the top of the screen where it says Soul Jade bonus, you've got enhance, you've got recast, and imbue. So there's a few different things. Enhance allows you to take a Soul Jade and press X on it, and you can gamble it towards your total points with your sense level, right? So if you see, if I don't click this, I'm at 1100 with my experience at 0. If I click it, because it's at 1100, just like my Soul Jade, they said they're at the same level. So when I click 1100, it'll give it 1,635 points. Well, I mean, it gives it so it's got 635 left over, right? So if I spin that, it'll go up to 1101, right? And you want to keep on spinning them and spinning them and spinning them until you level that all the way up to 1120. But that's not what I'm going to show you here today. So I'm going to go over, if you go down to Soul Jades, you can do a whole group of Soul Jades like this. Like right here at the top, it says selected 0 out of 15 with your enhancement materials. I've got my quality set from low to high. And then right here, it lets you click on all rare items, literally on the words, and it'll check it off. Pink. And so it put 13 different Soul Jades inside of here so that I can spend them towards my total. It'll show me what level I go up to and everything. But I'm not going to do that. Take that off, right? If I go down here to the purple Soul Jades. So you remember that first Soul Jade gave me 1,635, right? If I go down here to the purple Soul Jades and press it, boom, 1,478. You see that? So you get different amounts depending on which Soul Jade you gamble and how much levels are in the Soul Jade. So if the Soul Jade is a much higher level than the Soul Jade sense level of the one that you're using, then you'll get a much bigger bonus, right? But then you've got your golden ones, right? If you gamble a golden one, boom, 1,731 extra points, right? So they've all got different amounts depending on if they're legendary, epic, or rare. And if they're higher in level, you'll get more points for gambling them, right? Like, for example, right here, I've got Lotus Aegis Break at 1120. I'm going to go in. It's going to ask me, this Soul Jade is locked and cannot be consumed. So in order for you to lock a Soul Jade so that way you accidentally gamble it, you go over it on this screen, you go on top of it, and then you just press lock over here. And it'll put a lock on it. Clink, right? I'm going to unlock it. Clink. It's pretty simple stuff. Okay, now let me go back in here, enhance, and then I'm going to go down back to the 1120. Where is it at? Right here, Lotus Aegis Break. Are you sure you want to unlock it? Unlock. and it'll tell you how many points you get for that Soul Jade. That one Soul Jade gave me 14,000 points. That's a much bigger gamble. And I go all the way up to 1115, which is only 5 points from the max, just with this one Soul Jade. So leveling them all the way up will allow you to almost match your level once you spend it. It's pretty good, right? I'm not going to spend it though, right? So there's much more. Let me lock that back. Okay, so if you go over here, if you notice under this Soul Jade, Ice Swarm, and under, yeah, I'm just going to go to Ice Swarm. Ice Swarm has, let me see if I have a different one that's new, that doesn't have. Okay, you see this one has 3 subsections that are white and 1 subsection that's purple, right? So I'm going to go into it, boom, enhance, and then I'm going to go to recast up here at the top. Souljade bonus, enhance, and then we're going to go to recast. Under recast, you've got recast attribute, and then you've got recast value. Recast attribute will allow you to spend these Souljade fragments so that you can upgrade the levels on these, so that you can gamble these and get new, just new options. The options that's over here are the data from your active players. These are the best Soul Jades that it thinks that you want to get. So whenever you gamble this and you get one of these, it'll ask you, hey, do you sure you want to gamble that again? You can keep it, right? Or you're going to go to recast value, and then that'll show you all your maximums. So you can keep upgrading this by using 2 Soul Jade fragments and 1 carved crystal all the way up until you max it out at 12%. Same thing with this one. You can max it out at 6%. You can max this one out at 5%. In order for you to get to the max, you gamble those, and it doesn't give you points every time. Sometimes it's 0, but sometimes it's like 10. So you might max it out in just a couple of uses, but it might take you 60 of them. After you spend about 60 of them recasting your attribute, then it'll give you the option to choose. Do you want to choose this a different attribute? So you can just go through and pick your, it says after 24 recasts, you can specify a non-rare attribute. So after you spend 24 of these gambling it, then you can go ahead and decide to just pick one. It'll give you an option with a whole list to pick one, right? But let me go back. All right, so I'm going to go and I'm going to gamble a couple of these. So I'm going to go to Swift Heal, and then at the bottom it says Deconstruct. I'm going to go to Deconstruct. Are you sure you want to deconstruct this Soul Jade? Yes. Boom. And it'll give you a Soul Jade fragment. You get 1 Soul Jade fragment for every epic Soul Jade. Every time you gamble an epic Soul Jade, you get 1 Soul Jade fragment, right? If you go up and you gamble a legendary Soul Jade, deconstruct it, boom, you get 4 Soul Jade fragments. Right, so that's the only way to get Soul Jade fragments so far in the game is to go to fight on Showdown, get all of these Soul Jades, and then some of them you use to upgrade your other Soul Jades over here, and then some of them you use to go ahead and deconstruct and turn them into Soul Jade fragments. Okay, now we're going to go back to, let me see, we're going to go back to Enhance. Boom. Now I'm going to go over to Imbue. Well, let's go to Recast. Okay. Under Recast, I can click. You see, I'm under Recast Attribute, and then I click this one, like Uncharged Attack Damage, right? Ice Blast Damage. I'm going to click Ice Blast Damage. Now it'll let me spend up 2 of these Soul Jade fragments and 1 of these, what is this, a carved crystal, in order for me to obtain the material that I'm looking for, right? So I'm going to recast it. Boom. Right? It changed it to a skill cooldown reduction, from Ice Blast damage to skill cooldown reduction. If I don't want that, then I can go to Recast again. And if I go to Recast again, it'll automatically re-roll for a new Soul Jade. I'll show you. Boom, now it's on luck. You see what I'm saying? And every time that you recast again, you're going to spend 2 Soul Jade fragments, and it'll give you a different option. After you roll 24 of those, it'll bring up a screen that allows you to choose an option. I'm going to cancel this because I don't want to keep luck, right? And then I'm going to go over to Imbue. right? Under Imbue, right, you've got all of these imbuement materials over here, right? The Flux Jade will allow you to add a red attribute to your Soul Jade, which is like the strongest attributes that you can get in the game when it comes to Soul Jades. And there's a bunch of them. You know, I'll show you a couple in a second. You've got Poison Essence. So you see over here, it says Poison Wielding. So this will not do anything. It's just going to make it Poison Wielding. You can't do Poison Wielding +2. I'll show you. See, it's just Poison Wielding. It won't change to Poison Wielding +2. Now, I can change it from a Poison Soul Jade to an Ice Wielding Soul Jade, or to a Thunder Wielding Soul Jade, just to give you that extra boost when you're wielding a Thunder Soul Jade or an Ice Soul Jade instead of a Poison. But this one is Poison, so it's already got what it needs. Now, this item here is called a Shrouded Jade, an item for imbuing Soul Jades in Showdown mode. You use it to add an additional attribute to the Soul Jade. All right, I've got a lot of those, so I'm going to go to that. And then under my sub attributes here, I've only got 2, right? So in order for you to get where I'm at, where I've got 4, you can get up to 4 on one Soul Jade. You've got to use a Shrouded Jade. The Shrouded Jade, if I press Imbue, will add 1 more Soul Jade's attribute spot, secondary attribute spot, right? So now it's got 3. I can use another one and it'll add a 4th one, but I'm not going to do that. This one is the Flux Jade Shard. Sometimes you will get a couple of Flux Jade Shards from doing different things in the game. And when you get a Flux Jade Shard, you can use 2 of those to create a Flux Jade, right? And then this is what the Flux Jade is, where it gives you a red attribute. See, I don't have any of these because I use them fast, and I don't have any of these because I use them fast, right? Can be obtained through season challenges. First, clear Yama's Abyss and Showdown Pass. It's very simple. Just go to Yama's Abyss and beat stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go back so that I can choose a different Soul Jade. So if I come over here to the Soul Jades that I've got equipped, notice every single one of my Soul Jades has a red sub attribute. Scorching, 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 Windfall, Scorching, Scorching. And they have other ones too. Like, let me show you. Oh, I can go over here. I've got it on my second subsection. Nope, that's Scorching too. Okay, so I've got it right here. Moderation. Right, so I'm going to click on this one. Boom. I'm going to go to Enhance. And now that I'm on this screen, it'll show me everything that I've got, even my maximums for all of my secondary attributes for this Soul Jade. It says summon a lotus that lasts for 16 seconds when pulling off a counter. The lotuses will follow you and cast lotus impact at enemies. Up to 4 can be summoned per second. But that's not the notable part. The notable part is for people just send me a lot of invites. The notable part is these 4 subsections. So I'm going to go over to Recast. Okay, so these are my 4 subsections, right? Diffuse triggers recovery, poison blast damage, which any Soul Jade that you get where you can gamble and get poison blast damage bonus, you want to keep that. Poison blast damage bonus is like probably the most powerful blast attack Soul Jade sub attribute that you can get in these past few seasons. And then you've got rage per second. That one's all right. But this moderation says reduce skill cooldown when you're triggering elemental damage, right? So it says plus 25%. I'm going to go to recast values to see my maximums. So the max I can do is plus 25%. That means it's 25% faster that my cooldown for my triangle moves or my specials will come back as long as I'm hitting people with elemental damage. And poison blast damage counts as elemental damage. So this one is kind of like the more I hit them with that poison blast damage, the more that this is going to help me get my cooldown faster and my rage per second. It does a lot too, but I'm going to pick a different Soul Jade just so I can show a different subsection. Let's try Toxified Lotus, right? This one has poison blast damage as well. But you see it's maxed out at 30% because I kept on gambling these Soul Jade fragments and these carved crystals to get my maximum, right? Same thing with this one. I kept gambling until I got it maxed out at 3. Sometimes it shows 0, so you might gamble a lot before you get it maxed out. This one I still have to max out, right? Counter triggers recovery, and then divine thunder damage. See, it's only at 19.9. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to try to gamble it. See, plus 0%. So it was like a wasted gamble, but sometimes it's not a waste, and it'll level it all the way up. I think I got it up to 19 in like 5 gambles, so I got really lucky. It started off at like 7.9, and now it's at 19.9, and I didn't spend that many to get it, right? So Scorching says, after countering, melee attacks deal extra blaze damage. So if you counter somebody on Showdown, it'll hit them with this huge, like, big blast, and that big blast deals extra blaze damage. So it's really, really powerful. One of the most powerful subsections is Scorching. So you want Scorching to be maxed out at level 3 if you have it, and it's going to do you a lot of good. A lot of good. In order for you to get the red subsection, you may gamble it. You could gamble and they just give you a red subsection, but it's very unlikely. You have to use the Flux Jade. If you can get your hands on a Flux Jade, the Flux Jade will automatically give you a red subsection, but you just don't know which red subsection that you're going to get. So you just got to try a whole bunch of them. And whichever one you get is whatever. I don't even think after you get your Flux Jade on here, you can't gamble this for a different red subsection attribute. You have to keep the one that you have. If you try to go back here to recast and click on this and recast it so that you can try to get a different red attribute, it's not going to be red next time. They're going to give you a yellow one, like one of these regular ones. So you don't want to gamble this. You just want to keep the one that you've got. I think that I saw a couple of characters that had 2 red subsections, so it may be possible for you to get a second red subsection on these, but I don't know. I have to go look at somebody's page and see if they've got 2 on 1. I know last season I saw a couple of people like that, but I don't know if that, because none of mine have 2. If I go back to my character, all of these, this one has poison blast damage plus 30%. This one has poison blast damage. No, I'm on the wrong one. There we go. Poison blast damage plus 30% on this one. Poison blast damage plus 30% on this one. Poison blast damage plus 30%. Plus 30%. Let me see. Plus 30%. Plus 30%. So you see, I've spent a lot of time gambling to max out all of my poison blast damages on each Souljade. That's why I'm so high up on the rankings, because my Souljades hit hard with those poison blasts. But then also I've maxed out Scorching. See, that one's level 3. This one's level 3. This one is level 3. This one is level 3. And this one is level 3. So 5 out of the 6 of mine are level 3 Scorchings. Right? That's why I hit so hard. Every time I counter somebody, my hit hurts because they hit them so hard with that Scorching. But this one says Windfall. Add extra. I'm going to go to it. Enhance. Right? Add extra sub attributes to this Souljade plus 50%. So let me go to the maximums. Okay. Windfall is very useful. Super useful. It's the only one that I have, but it's super useful. Basically, every sub attribute that's on here gets boosted by this sub attribute, by this special one. So when it says add extra sub attributes to this Souljade plus 50%, that means this one is at poison blast damage plus 30%. Now it's at 80%. This one says charge to damage to Aegis bonus plus 4.8%. Well, now it's 54.8%. Like it's 50% more on each one, right? And it's very, very useful, but it's hard to get. Hopefully you can add 2 and I can put Scorching on here at level 3 and then it'll double up on the level 3. That would be great. But, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know for sure if that's possible. Right. So again, in order for you to get Souljades to gamble, all you have to do is play on Showdown, either Nerites Ruins. Let me show you. Either Nerites Ruins. Any of these stages will give you a lot of Showdown Souljades, or you have to go to Holoroth, right, and just choose a stage. You've got any stage will tell you which Showdown Souljades you get. They're at the bottom of the screen here. It tells you which ones you can get. Mighty Lotus, Elemental, Lotus Barrier, Lotus Recovery. Some of them have a lot. Like if I go over here tonight to Gala Yushan, see that? Successive Ice, Ice Armor, Ice Fall. It's got a lot of them. And I can go down the list. There's so many of them. Same thing with Manticore. So many of them, right? So you want to play these stages. Every time you beat the stage, you're going to get, you don't even have to beat it. If you get halfway through, they'll give you a bunch of them. But if you beat it, you'll get even more, right? Or you can go over to the Morris Isle, and any of these stages on Morris Isle will give you different kinds of Showdown, Souljades. Not for me, of course, because I've beat this so many times. But you see, like, even on hard, I only get one, you know, only one, two. This one's got a bunch, Chasm, Undertow, but they're all like, what are the epics? They're not legendaries, right? So you want to go to Night Scream to get legendaries. Enigma Domain, look at all those legendaries. So you can just play Enigma Domain over and over and over, and you'll get a whole bunch of these Souljades, right? And you want to use these Souljades to level up your Souljades that you're using against everybody, right? Let me go back to that. Preparation. Go to the character that you like. Over here it says Equip Souljades. Boom. And now that you're here, you can use any of these Souljades to upgrade. You just got to pick it and go to Enhance. And then you can upgrade and use any of the other Souljades to be able to level it up. It's very simple stuff, right? So you cannot level up rare Showdown Souljades in the same way you can do these guys, right? These rare ones, when you go to deconstruct, it gives you a gray area. You can't break those down and get Showdown Souljade shards. So the only thing that these are good for is to use them to sacrifice them for the other Souljades. But you're going to get a lot of blues. You're going to get a lot of these rares. You're just gonna sacrifice them. They're really not that important. The epics and the legendaries are always going to be better. And the epic and the legendaries give more points, and you can break them all down to deconstruct to either get 1 for the epics or 4 for the legendaries, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and break this one down. Deconstruct it. Yes. I need as many as I can get. And the point is to play over and over and over and over until you stack so many in your inventory that you can use it to get all these up to 1120, 1120, 1120, 1120. You have to have each one of them at the next level before it'll show on your sense level here, right? So if I take one of these off, let's see. If I take one of these off, let's say Armored Artist, if I unequip it and then I equip a lower Souljade, you see, automatically my sense level went down to 1050 just because I took that one off. If I go over here and I put 1100 on, equip it, my level didn't go back up to 1120. It only went up to 1116 because this one is not maxed out. Just one Souljade in your list will change your sense level. All of them have to be, like I can have one of them up to 1120 and all the rest of them brand new and it won't be 1120. You have to have 1120 on every single one in your list that you have equipped in order for you to be at 1120 for a sense level. Let's put it back on. Boom, back to 1120. Very important. You can't get to 1120 until all of them say 1120. So it takes some work, right? Down here it says auto allocate. You know, I don't even, when it comes to auto allocate and recommended, I say ignore those. You know, gamble around, play with these and see what you can do. Don't worry about auto allocate and recommended. Those are a waste of time for learning how to do this and learning how to properly get these built up like mine are built up so that you can be strong enough to handle the harder stages. That's just for rookies. That's like some beginner stuff, right? So this says upgrade sense level. You see what I mean? In order for you to do that, you're going to have them all up there, just like I said, but you can do it from here too, right? Global max drop level is 1100. So I'm going to go over this. This says the global max drop level refers to the maximum sense level of the Souljade drops upon completing a showdown level. The max enhancement level refers to the maximum level the Souljades can be enhanced to. These two level maximums will not increase again during the current season. So right now, the biggest Souljades that I can get out of the stages when I fight is 1100, which is what all these are. That's why I'm getting 1100, because that's the highest that it'll give you off the bat. But the highest you can enhance them is 1120. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to get 1100 when you play. You might only get 800 or 760 or 900, depending on how high your sense level is. They'll only give you Soul Jades out of beating these stages that are somewhere in the range of whatever your sense level is. So the higher you get, the better you'll get. But once you jump over 1100, you won't get anything higher than 1100. So you're just going to have to keep spinning up 1100s until you max these out. All right. That's pretty much it. Other than that, you've got, Scorching. You've got Wind for the red sub attributes. You've got Windfall. You've got Scorching. You've got, let me see if I have another. Moderation. Right. And I think there might even be another one. I just don't have it. Scorching, 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 Scorching. See, they give Scorching a lot. Scorching, Windfall. And there may even be more. I don't think I've seen them all. So get to gambling, get to playing. Of course, send this video to any of your friends who are playing Naraka with you, who don't quite understand how to get down with the Showdown Souljade game, how to upgrade them, how to gamble them. If you watch this video a couple of times, it'll start to make more sense until you get it up to higher levels. And, other than that, let me show you where you can get Flux Jades. So in here, usually under some kind of an event, stage type of thing. Oh, sorry. No. It's under Might Showdown Pass. So when you're here, you can go up here to quests. Boom. And then under quest, you've got your weekly quests, which I've already completed them all. And then you've got your season challenges. See, these give you their own. See, this one gives you Shrouded Jade. You got to complete 10 levels in Showdown mode, and you get 2 Shrouded Jades, and you get some Soul Jade fragments without having to gamble up your Soul Jades. Without having to deconstruct them. So that's useful, right? They give you Soul Jades here to play with. What is this? Showdown Pass, used to level up your Showdown Pass, stuff like that. Here's some of those carved crystals. You're going to get a lot of carved crystals. I've got a lot of them. It just gives you everything that you need over here for the most part. But you beat these, you get this kind of stuff, and then you go over to the season challenge. And under the season challenges, they're harder, but they give you better rewards, and they run you up a list, right? You see this list? You start way down here. Oh my gosh. Right? And when you get 40 points from completing these, I think the red ones give you like 35 or 75. Yeah, they give you 75 points. And the yellow ones give you like, let me see, 65 points. And then I think those are the only 2 that they have. But no, they have, if I go over here to Nerites Ruins, you got this purple one here. Let me see how much purples give you. Purples give you 8. See what I'm saying? So it's not these over here. They only give 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. So you got to level that all the way up to 920, I think. At 920, you get a Flux Jade. That's your goal. Keep beating these challenges until you can get a Flux Jade out of this current season challenge, because you can't get it hardly any other way. They're so hard to come across. So that's one way to get a Flux Jade. And then the other way to get it is sometimes under the event center when they're doing like your daily challenges. They'll bring out a Flux Jade, inside of one of these. We got one last week. So you never know. You just got to kind of try and see. They might give one special, but you very rarely see Flux Jades. That's why nobody really has red sub attributes. Let me go and look. This is where you go to rank. I'm going to go to Tianhi because that's the character that I play with, right? It says that I'm number 3 Tianhi, right? But if I go over here and press X, it shows all the Soul Jades that I'm using. And if I scroll on top of them, it shows all of my information, right? So what I'm going to do is go over here and I'm going to click on somebody else's. The number 2 guy, let's click on the number 1 guy. So see, he's got 2. There it is. He's got Scorching and he's got Windfall. That's a powerful hit. That's why he's able to beat this. The duration was 1:18 and mine was 3:59. He can beat it almost a little over 2 minutes faster than me because he's got 2 subsections that are both red subsections. And on top of that, there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, two of them are red. So he's trading one of the regular ones for a red one, obviously, but that's great. I mean, that's going to be a hard hit. Let's go to the next one. He's got 2 on there. That's 100% increase for his attack and his health. So subsections, that's amazing. You know, if he had what was that, poison blast damage on there, toxic damage, poison blast damage, man, he would be crazy. You know what I'm saying? This guy's got windfall and scorching on this one, so that's amazing. He's got windfall and scorching on that one, windfall twice on that one. Man, that's so crazy. His health and attack is going to be crazy. And he's got one on here, right? So he can beat it fast because all of his red Souljades, red subsections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those things. 11, like that's crazy. 6 Souljades, 11 subsections that are red. That's how you get powerful. So now you know you can put 2 red subsections on 1 Souljade. You just got to use either a Flux Jade or you got to keep gambling it until they give you another red sub attribute, which is, like I said, it's hard to get, but you can do it, you know. So don't get discouraged. Show this video to all your people. I'm going to go over to speed run just to show my stats here. Right, 5 minutes and 41 seconds. He got close, 6:01. He just did this. That was pretty close, you know, but you want to go in and you want to just get these leveled up, you know. Good luck playing the game. I'll probably drop more videos later, you know, just to show other things when it comes to Showdown. Like, comment, subscribe, please share, and, you know, I'll see you soon. Holla at me.